Hey guys, it's Sam and today I'm doing the Bookish Bookin book tag. This tag was created by the awesome Becca of Awesome Book Nut. I was tagged by her as well as Sarah Jane of The Book Life. Question number 1, what is the well-loved book that you hated? I feel like all of the books that I hate are really well-loved. The ones that immediately come to mind are The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons and A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I have reviews for both of those books, so if you're interested in more of my thoughts on why I hate them, as if I haven't already talked about them enough, they'll be linked down below. Question number 2, what is a guilty pleasure book? I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I'm totally fine with any book that I read and I'm not guilty about it or anything, but I understand what the question is asking, and that is the Luck series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I think these books are just kind of fluffy and fun and really quick to read because Jennifer L. Armentrout's writing style is just like so fast paced. And there's like paranormal, contemporary romance, action-y a little bit, and they're just kind of fun. I mean, like, look at this cover. Like, this is just one of those kind of reads. Number 3, have you ever spoiled a book for someone, and if so, which one? I don't think that I have. I mean, I might have spoiled something for somebody if they've clicked on a video and they shouldn't have, and it was something, or if they listen to like a coupley chat video and they consider coupley things spoilers, but I've never actually just come out and said a spoiler to like a friend or something like that. Like, any video things, like, that's on you if you've watched a video and been spoiled. But as far as anything, I'm pretty good about not spoiling things. I'm really trying to remember. Like, I get even a little worried, like, if I want to rant or talk about a book to somebody immediately and like Gerald's around and I want to talk about it and I'm like, are you gonna read this book? And he has to like tell me like 3 times like, no, I'm not gonna read it before. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you about this part, because I don't want to spoil people. That's not cool. You know, I know it's an accident sometimes, but you know, I never want to have that burden on me. Number 4, what book made you ugly cry? I know I've read a book lately that I said made me cry, and I can't even find what it is. There was one more recently than this, but the one that I remember made me cry the most was Blue's the Warmest Color by Julie Moreau. This is a graphic novel, and I've never cried during a graphic novel, but I definitely cried during this one. Number 5, what is your latest DNF? I don't really DNF books. I want to get better about quitting a book that I'm not enjoying, but typically speaking, if I'm not enjoying it, especially if it's a book that a lot of people really love, I will push myself through it to make sure that I don't like it and then do a review on it saying why I don't like it. Because as a reviewer, I feel like I need to finish bad books to accurately review them, and if a book is bad, I want to make sure people know it's bad. So I feel like I can't DNF books, and that's entirely my own thing, my own like motivation to not DNF, so I can't even remember the last book that I DNF'd, honestly. Number 6, which book have you read due to controversy? I don't ever read books just because they're controversial or anything like that, but I did pick up Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. I picked this one up before I even knew about the mixed opinions on it, and then I eventually read it because I wanted to know where I sat with it, so that's the most recent one I can think of that I picked up for that reason. Number 7, have you read a book that made you question the author's sanity? I would say that is a 2-way tie between Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire and The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons that I already showed, because those are 2 books that are depicting love stories that are abusive. And it made me question, like, why would you depict something as like a love story and something that we should aspire to that's abusive? Why? Whenever I read that, I always kind of question, like, what's going on in that author's head. I don't get it. Number 8, what is the most cringe-worthy book that you've read? That would probably be Ignite by Lily Paradis. I did not like the writing in this book, and I found it very unrealistic and just really cringe-worthy, honestly. I just didn't believe anything. It was so over the top, and it was just too much. It was too much. Number 9, what book have you read solely due to the cover? I don't read books solely due to the cover. Every book I read, I've read the synopsis and I know that it's something that I should probably enjoy. Whether I do or not is up in the air, obviously. But a lot of books, I will see beautiful covers and then I'll research them. I have not read this book yet, but The River of No Return by B. Ridgway, I saw its beautiful stunning cover on Book Outlet one time and I was like, that looks like it's pretty. What's it about? And I checked and it's like time travel and stuff and I'm like, alright, I need to have it, and that happens very frequently to me. Really, I just give myself a good excuse to buy the pretty covers. Number 10 is name a book you're embarrassed to admit that you've read. Am I embarrassed about any of these books? No. Number 11, name an unknown book that you wish more people knew about. These are not unknown by any means, they're not really talked about a lot on BookTube, and that is the Graceling series by Kristen Cashore. I love this series. It's a trilogy, and they're all companion books, and they take place in different timelines, and the main thread that connects all of them is actually the villain, which is really cool. So I love these books. I love the characters. I love the world. I want Kristen Cashore to write more books. what is taking so long? But these books just don't get enough hype on BookTube. I think they're right on par with a lot of the really big series like Throne of Glass and the Grisha Trilogy and all of those. So people need to read them more and talk about them with me because I love them. Number 12, name a favorite villain. I mean, do we really have to guess? I don't think we have to guess. Number 13 is name a book outside of the typical genre that you read that you enjoyed. I read pretty much every genre, so I can't really think of one that's necessarily outside the genres I read because I read pretty much everything. But a genre I don't typically enjoy is new adult, and I recently read Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and this is the first book in a long new adult series. But I typically don't like new adult, like, at all, and I liked this one. Number 14 is name tropes that you actually enjoy reading. Sarah Jane's answer is very similar to mine, but I don't have any tropes that I typically hate, except for insta-love, because I don't think insta-love can ever be done well, but I think every other trope can be. Like, I'm pretty much fine with love triangles. Yes, there's a lot of bad ones, but there's a lot of good ones too, so I don't automatically hate them. So there's a lot of books with love triangles that I enjoy reading. I don't hate the princess runs away from an arranged marriage trope. Like, a lot of people hate that. I love it. I can see it infinity amount of times, and I'm totally fine reading it. I love the hate to love trope. That's my favorite for romances and stuff. I'm even fine with like the chosen one trope, or girl has secret ability that makes her special. Like, I'm fine with that. All of them can be done well, in my opinion, besides insta-love, because insta-love at its core is just lazy writing and not actually building up a relationship. Like, there's no insta-love book that I've ever read that has been good, that I've believed as insta-love. But everything else has a book example that I've read that I've enjoyed. So there's really no tropes that I don't enjoy, because tropes can be done well, honestly. That's why they're done so much, because there's examples of ones that are good. And number 15, what or who inspired you to join BookTube? And a plethora of people inspired me. Misty from the Book Rat I watched a lot, and Kaz from Little Book Owl. I think those are the first two people that I ever discovered. And then once I realized that there was a whole community of people talking about books, I wanted to be a part of that conversation, and I'm better with talking than necessarily writing out stuff all the time. Like, I considered writing like a blog or something, but I'm just better with the way that I talk with my hands and the way that I like enunciate my words and stuff. Like, it's just better with my emotions conveyed in this form. So that's why I decided to join BookTube. Alright guys, so that's it for the Bookish Bookin book tag. I'm not going to tag anybody because this tag has been going around for a little while, so I don't know who has done it. But comment down below and let me know a trope that you enjoy, or if you're like me and you think any trope can be done well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!